The future, a world where the quest for truth has ended.
Do you believe in the supernatural, Mr. Vandarius?
I'm not enough. Surprise!
The Shader will bring hell to Earth for thousands of years. Shock Division, kill them all!
Spirit Blade, a full cast audio drama. Download the Legacy Edition of Spirit Blade for free at spiritblade.com.
Hey guys, Peter Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions, continuing my celebration of UN-E3 2020, as I call it. Now I'm reacting to the EA Play event for this year. Not much at all that really connects with me in this presentation. In fact, no games, actually, not a single game actually, that I plan on buying and playing myself, but still really some noteworthy things. You know, EA, in the way that they market their material each year, I feel like is potentially a window into the hearts of many gamers. You know, marketing is based on information that is probably good information that leads marketers to think that consumers will respond to this. You know, people that are in marketing really have to be good at getting a lay of the land, understanding what's going to connect with people, and then making their marketing campaigns, their marketing speech, leverage that so that they can sell their products. And I think that EA each year kind of reminds me of some realities, some of them sad, about where we're at today, you know. The Sims is a popular franchise of theirs, has been for years, and they had people that some of them may or may not have been actors, kind of hard to tell, you know, but let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and say that, you know, they're all like actual players of this game, you know, and they were kind of giving these testimonials that were, you know, sliced up and intercut with each other, but they were talking about how much The Sims as a game has meant to them. And they talked about feeling hope through playing The Sims, experiencing acceptance through playing The Sims. There were some taglines that went up saying life without fear, life without hate, life without judgment. All of this can be experienced within The Sims. One person in his testimonial said of The Sims that in it, you can create your life, you know. And so all these people, for one reason or another, are not feeling acceptance in their day-to-day lives. They're maybe dealing with fear and uncertainty or hate or judgment, you know. And so they are finding that in this game. And I think that, you know, for a while now, we've been moving more and more in the direction of people finding, or trying to find, I should say, fulfillment in an entertainment experience. And we are certainly, as Christian geeks, susceptible to that as well. And while some beautiful things can come about from entertainment, and while there is a core of beauty and good that originates with God that can be found in all kinds of entertainment, finding fulfillment and acceptance and a lack of judgment in games, people shouldn't have to be going there for that, to even try to get that. It's not lasting. It's an illusion. It's not true acceptance. It's based on, you know, a facade that they're putting up, and a digital avatar that is not truly them, you know. And so there was kind of a sadness in my mind as I was watching this presentation, thinking about, you know, these people. And so I think in there, we can take from that a call from us as believers to commit ourselves to learning how to love people well, to give people the truth in love. You know, I think we can lean one way or the other and feel like they are opposing each other. Well, we can be truthful or we can be loving, but we can't be both at the same time. But Scripture calls us to present the truth with love. Both of those working together at the same time, and when that's done, then the truth will be extremely powerful as it can be, and people will feel love in ways they never could if truth isn't involved in that, and it's just nice sounding ideas. And so, I think that when we watch a presentation like that, when we see those kinds of things being expressed, that should be a call up for us, to dedicate ourselves to learning how to better love people while still holding to the truth, and hold to the truth while still loving people. The game that probably is going to jump out to most gamers watching this is Star Wars Squadrons. That's coming out October 2nd, and it's going to have crossplay. And coming out on PC and consoles. Lots of crossplay was a big feature in EA's presentation. And so I think we're heading into a world where, crossplay is going to be ubiquitous, and it's just going to be expected more and more on games that come out, instead of being trapped on a console's, isolated ecosystem. It's got a single-player campaign, but who knows if that's just like, the lip service version of a campaign, or how really rich and lengthy it's going to be. But it's going to involve playing two perspectives, alternating back and forth between the rebellion and what remains of the Empire. The game takes place shortly after Return of the Jedi, which I think makes sense as a time period to put it in. Those original movies are the ones that are most widely, I think, accepted, at least by the demographic that's going to be the primary audience for this game. And so that's kind of a safe space to play in. But taking place after, Return of the Jedi, they can introduce concepts that would be played out in full, maybe starship models or something like that. They could start playing with those things that would, in that game, since it takes place after Return of the Jedi, or bring back old ships from the prequels or whatever, So I think it's a pretty safe decision. There are numerous unlocks in these games, and there was no word of that being through microtransactions. I think that they realized that they really made some mistakes with the original Battlefront, and I think, wasn't there also kind of an issue with Battlefront 2? I can't remember. There's so many controversies upon controversies again and again with EA that it's hard to keep track of them all, and when they started making better decisions. But no word about microtransactions. That doesn't mean they won't be there. What they've said in this presentation is that all these unlocks that they're going to be part of the game can be unlocked simply by playing the game. Well, the same was arguably true, if I remember correctly, about a lot of the stuff that was unlocked through microtransactions. It just took forever to unlock them through playing the game, So with EA, it's a big game of we'll see how it actually plays out. One feature that they seem to really kind of trumpet as the signature feature of Star Wars Squadrons is fleet battles. These massive multi-stage battles with giant command vessels that send out, groups of fighters, in kind of waves, and each wave kind of has a different goal in mind, and ultimately you're trying to destroy the other, huge command ship. But it's interesting, how they kind of describe that. So I recommend checking out the video, of course, for more information. But those can be played PvP, of course. They really want to push multiplayer, I think, or PvE, which was interesting to me. I don't know how rich that experience is going to be, but one thing that was of note to me is that there are no force abilities that I could see going on in this game. And I'm guessing that probably in the history of these, space fighter Star Wars games, there hasn't been force powers. That's something that would be hard to execute on in a multiplayer setting, because that, the force is going to, in other games will kind of slow down time, or do other things that you might not be able to do in a real-time multiplayer match, But part of me was just thinking, even though I'm not the audience for this game at all, I'm not going to be any good at this kind of game at all, I thought to myself, there's that key moment in A New Hope with Luke Skywalker using the Force while he's in a fighter, and it was instrumental in the victory in that one. And I don't know that there's going to be anything like that in this game, so it seems like a bit of an omission, but oh well. And then we had the EA Sports segment, which again got my attention not because of the games themselves, but because of how they were marketed, how EA's market research says we are likely to respond well to what they are presenting. And the voiceovers described, which may have been athletes, professional athletes. I don't know, athletes enough or at all to tell you whether or not that's true. But they were saying things like carve your name in history. Like when you have these legendary, memorable moments in a sports game, you carve your name in history. 60,000 people singing your song. And another voiceover moment said, can't live without that feeling. And so they're really appealing to significance being granted to us through our accomplishments, not through the intrinsic worth that we have because of being image bearers of God. And so I think as Christian geeks, we should try to be aware of how fictional stories and the entertainment we take in, marketing campaigns for the entertainment we consume, are designed to really appeal to tendencies in us that are counter to what God tells us is true about reality, about ourselves, about our worth and stuff, Every belief system in the world is, well, that's probably too broadly speaking, but nearly every belief system in the world that I can think of outside of Christianity has a works-based system. If there's some kind of reward or significance to people, it comes about as a result of their deeds, of their accomplishments. And there certainly are rewards for believers, but our greatest reward and our greatest significance is because of God's love for us and because we bear his image because of a choice that he made, So, yeah, I think it's worth kind of keeping those truths in mind, and because it's easy, speaking from personal experience, it's easy to get swept up in the tropes of fiction, which are usually about some chosen one who rises from insignificance and through the course of deeds that are epic becomes extremely significant to the world in which he lives, And so, that kind of stuff is all over the place in the entertainment that we consume, and I think it's valuable to be aware of that. And then the last thing is kind of just a note about something that wasn't there. It was like, no Dragon Age. No Dragon Age. They even teased it, I want to say last year or maybe the year before. I feel like we've known that they've been working on it for at least 2 years now. And to get nothing in this presentation was a bit surprising to me. Not that I am anticipating that I'll enjoy Dragon Age. I feel like BioWare, the people, the developers in that studio, which is owned by EA, that made the games that I really loved, they left that studio a long time ago. Others have taken their place, and it just does not have what it used to have. And I think part of that is also being under the watch of EA and having to kind of do the things that they want to do to serve demographic research and stuff like that. But anyway, so I wasn't anticipating that I was going to super enjoy this one, and I didn't. It was kind of boring, a lot of it. But it still triggered some worthwhile thought. And so anyway, that's all I have to share about the EA Play event. I'd love to get your thoughts in the comments below. Let's see, what's coming up? Is there anything this weekend? I have been trying to put out demos because of the Steam Game Festival, where all these demos that are normally only available to press, actually at E3, are now being made available for the average consumer. And since I, with my work, have time available, if I can shift things around quite a bit, then I can, play these things and put videos up. So I'm putting up as many demos as I can, or as many videos of me trying out demos and giving my thoughts along the way. So keep an eye out for those. I've already put up like 3, maybe 4 at this point, and I imagine I'll be doing more tonight and tomorrow, maybe into the weekend. So you should see activity continue on the Christian Geek Central YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's all for now. I'm done blabbing. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
The future, a world where the quest for truth has ended.
Do you believe in the supernatural, Mr. Vandarius?
I'm not beat up with this. It's surprise.
The Shader will bring hell to Earth for thousands of years. Shock Division, kill them all!
Spirit Blade, a full cast audio drama. Download the Legacy Edition of Spirit Blade for free at spiritblade.com.